What's up, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of Backyard Country Living. Jeff here. I've got another product today that the fine folks at Garvee sent for me to demonstrate and maybe do a review on and see how well it works. It is a 3-point quick hitch for the 3-point on the back of the tractor. So I've got it here on the back of the Massey Ferguson 231, and we'll talk about it a little bit, the specs and features and options it has on it, and then maybe we'll try it on a couple of implements and see how well it works. It's compatible with some implements but not all, and I'll kind of try to demonstrate that here in a second. And they kind of say that on their website that it may not work with all implements, so you had to kind of keep that in mind based on what kind of implements you have or whatever. But this is, it's made out of heavy-duty steel. I think it's for Category 0 and Category 1 attachments. I believe it weighs about 70 pounds itself. And I'll show you a little closer here in a second how, there's several of these out there, so I'm sure there's lots of videos you've seen how it bolts right onto the 3-point arms right there with a pin, going through each of the balls on both sides, with a little hook right there, so it bolts on there, and then your top link comes on here just like this where your implement. And I've got that top hook loose there because I want to show you something here about the compatibility. This one does have a 2-inch receiver, so that's nice. You can put your 2-inch receiver hitch there if you want to move trailers around or whatever. I think the one I have kind of has an offset, so it drops down a little bit to make it more usable or whatever. It's not up so high with the offset there. But yeah, I think this thing is rated to lift around 3,000 pounds, so that's pretty heavy duty. Looks to be well made. I believe you can get it in different colors. Red one here, but I think they offer other colors as well if you want to be all about matching up with your tractor or whatever. And of course it is powder coated. You've got about 5 different adjustments here on this top hook that you can move it up or down, to fit the dimensions or whatever on your implement. And I'll throw a photo up on the screen that shows the dimensions and everything per what's on their website. And of course, one of the main things with this is, saving you time hooking up to your implements, not having to get on and off the tractor so much. How the 3-point arms can be a little aggravating to get those lined up quite right and get off, move up a little bit, move back a little bit, get off 3 or 4 times. This is, designed to help you with that. So yeah, anyway, we'll get in here and take just a bit closer look at it, and then we've got a couple of implements that we're going to try to hook up to and see how well it works. Also, I'll leave a link in the description for a link to this, so you can order it off their website. And there is a discount code. It's BACKYAR10, BACKYAR10. That'll give you a 10% discount. So go on their website, check it out, and yeah, it works pretty good as long as your attachment is compatible with it. It definitely saves you some trips getting on and off the tractor. So I'm going to take this top hook off and kind of walk around and show you the compatibility thing with some of the implements that it'll work, and then some others that maybe it won't work. But anyway, let's get a little closer here and then we'll do that. Okay, yeah, there you can see where the pins go through the arms to bolt it on. Now you are going to add about, I don't know, maybe 5 to 6 inches of length, from where the ball is on the 3-point arms right here. Now your implement's going to rest in this little U-shaped piece here. So you are going to add a little length. That shouldn't be a problem with most anything. The only thing you got to be cautious if you got something, with a PTO shaft. If it's borderline, not long enough, then that may cause you a little bit of an issue. And of course, these are your release arms. You see the little pin here that keeps everything in place. So when you pull this arm, so when you go to hook it up, you would have them in this position, so you can back up and connect. And then, as I say, I've got this hook off now, that's normally here. So all right, we'll walk over here to a couple of implements and I'll show you, the compatibility thing. So let me get a pin. So normally you're going to have a pin sticking in that top, where the top link would normally go of that implement. And you see how this is kind of, it's offset out away from the main runner that comes up there. So then when you're backing up here, try to get this in the frame, you're backing up here, you've got easy access to get under that pin and hook it up. So it's no problem, you got all this, empty space down here. But when it gets to something like this landscape rake, you see how you've got, it comes up to a Y there, or a V rather, and you've got that plate welded in the middle there. So when you're backing up to this, as you can see, that U-shaped piece of metal is not going to get under that pin. Now you might be able to back up without the pin in there and go into here and didn't put the pin in. That's a possibility. But lots of times in order to get the hooks to go on down here, you got to drop it low enough, and then when you drop it low enough to get the hooks to go on down here, then this piece ends up hitting here. So that's what I've seen happen on a lot of the implements, that especially like on this rake right here, where this thing is even closer to the holes up here. So lots of times that makes it where it's not going to work. Yeah, we'll try the land plane first. I'll go ahead and bolt this top hook on, and I'm pretty sure we won't have a problem with the land plane. Alright, so that hooked up pretty easy, and so now all we got to do is come here, and close these arms, which is going to put the little metal retainer there in place. Same thing on the other side. So yeah, we're ready to go. So yeah, you can clearly see how this thing being offset out like it is allows that hook to get under there. No obstructions down here, where you'll see, that's not the case on a lot of the other attachments. But yeah, I think I'll go ahead and just right out here in the edge of the field, drag a little bit with this land plane, just to kind of show it not only the hooking up part of it, but actually working under load a little bit. So anyway, now we'll see if we can take the 2-inch receiver and go hook up to a trailer. I've got an offset hitch here, so we'll stick that in here and pop the pin in. And so now, yeah, you see that kind of offsets it down a bit, so that if you had a straight one, then you would be kind of high. If you were lowering it down to hook something up, not it's heavy, you don't want to pick it up, then it would be kind of high if it was up here. So that offsets us down on that one about 8 inches. But yeah, let's go hook to a trailer, see how that works. yeah, that works pretty good to move a trailer around. And of course you can put your ball in there, you know, if you want to, you know, if it's a trailer that's got a ball hitch on it. So yeah, it works pretty good. Like I said, you just have to kind of examine your implements to make sure that it's going to be compatible as far as that top hitch. It doesn't seem that in most cases, as far as the bottom hitch or the bottom link arm connection, haven't seen too many cases where that seems to be a problem. It's a matter of whether that top hitch will allow that hook to get in there. So but okay, I guess that's going to about wrap it up. There again, don't forget, I'll put a link in the description. Discount code is BACKYAR10, BACKYAR 10 for a 10% discount. So go in there and check it out. If you got a use for something like that, I think it's a pretty good deal, and they'll fix you right up. All right, thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you next time.